Gamecocks from the 19th Fighter Squadron rolling onto the runway. Clear, it's time to go. Take the fight to the skies! Would be the first of our strikers from the 90th Fighter Squadron, Diceman. F-15s today are being mine that I went to ROTC with about 15 years ago. The Air Force is a smart, also firing added to the Alaska anyway. The Strike Eagles will be loaded up in pairs of 4 or 8 or 12, depending how many targets we have to hit. You can combine that with ground control radars or airborne AWACS aircraft operated by those radars 360 degrees, well over 150 arrive at a position of advantage. Clear under the cover of the surface that our F-16s have hit the target. They still have missiles, maybe a few extra bombs, and they can go into a mode what we call time-sensitive after 18 Warhog is showing up to do the job. With the ability to loiter for over an hour right over the battlefield and maneuver in tight, low-weather conditions like this, that he has right down the front of that aircraft is the largest. At over a mile, he can fire depleted uranium high-explosive shells, destroying tanks with a single bullet. Here, we've got a landing zone established thanks to the guidance and defensive operations of our tactical control team. We call them the Firebirds. You notice the ramp is down to our C-130. We need to put a little more armament, a little more equipment on the ground. There's no better, safer, quicker way to do that than with a container delivery system. Let's watch. The ramp's down. We're going to look for the loadmasters to deploy a variety of bundles out the back, parachute right and into the drop zone. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 good shoots back by the air mobility folks. Time-sensitive targeting. Look to the left. We've sent out a 9-line of information, and our next 2 interdiction fighters will kind of come in, pick out a few targets of opportunity. An air-to-air roll is necessary. Waiting forward deployed locations. They couldn't be part of our air show. We wish them well and Godspeed. We hope they're home safe. And right now, our C-130 is coming in to show how he can deliver troops onto the ground. Our C-130 would penetrate into the airfield lower, avoiding any air threat was detected. They could tell the C-130 to bug out safely to the west. Let it know when the air threat has been eliminated, then call that 130 right back in. The key to air power is that flexibility that no other country in the U.S. possesses so well. Now let's watch as we slow this C-130 for the Firebirds down. Demonstrate just how quickly, in short distance, we can get this airplane stopped, offloaded, and back airborne again. What's a woman to love? Ready for your eyes.
Here today being flown by Captain Darren Bacon and Captain Marty Armentrout from the 517th. Watch as we touch down. We're going to take the 4 fans of freedom, put the propellers in reverse thrust, full power, max anti-skid braking, and quickly bend to a stop.
Miles behind the scene, our military leaders in an air operations center would be the command and control headquarters that is orchestrating this entire area. F-15Es and S-16s have established communications with the fighters high overhead. Once his position was pinpointed, the Eagles would continue a point defense of that exact airspace. We would call back in the A once there was established a landing zone to rescue that downed pilot. The PJs, basically special operations paramedics, would be willing to parachute or rappel out of the helicopters, treat that pilot, hook him onto a hoist underneath the helicopter, and sling load him out as necessary. Of course, they couldn't do that with the helicopter. Be able to refuel the helicopters in flight, extending their range and allowing for those deep penetration rescue operations that sometimes are necessary. The helicopter, new flight crew in it, new fuel, and launch it again. If you have some minor things wrong with your airplane, you would be calling it Code 2. This is stuff that's not going to prevent you from flying combat, but maybe it's just not a full-up airplane. And now let's watch the helicopter moving in, showing that minimum separation right there, and they're not even hooked up yet. 2 feet away. You can see the minimum separation between that basket and the rotor blades. Of course, our HH-60s here at Kula, the aircraft has safely gotten home, and that may be a 4-hour trip again with refueling with battle-damaged, combat-weary pilots. They will recover just as we have the first of our Eagles coming up initial here today. The initial... Of course, the guys maintaining it, loading them up. The finance folks, there are thousands of jobs. Everyone is crucial as the pilot strapped into that jet. Without any of them, the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, and the Army could not be the great defense forces that we are today. Behind them, allow how we can get this entire strike package right. But Viper 2 got himself a MiG-29 on the egress, proving that multi-role capability.